neutralized by our officer. The original victims were struck by the car at approximately 9:52 this morning. The officer encountered the individual by 9:53, and the subject was neutralized by 9:53. At 9:55, a campus alert went out for people on campus to shelter in place, first to exit and avoid the circumstances or the place where this all happened, so they learned where it was and were told to run and hide and get away from the circumstances as we've trained for in desktops and other exercises. They did that. They got to secure places, and then forces from a variety of local law enforcement from our campus community, from our city, and from the state joined us together, and the FBI joined together on campus to sweep the campus to make sure there was no further threat. And then approximately 90 minutes later, the buildings were released. I have here with me the people who were directly on the scene, and they'll speak in a moment. I just wanted to say that first I had a chance to speak with the officer who was the first responder and to thank him for following his training and being able to neutralize the circumstances within roughly 1 minute. And also I was able to visit 3 of the people who were injured who are here in the hospital to let them know how much we are praying and supporting them in coming to a complete and speedy recovery. The ones who were here in the hospital were in good spirits. I note that a couple of the people are having more work done, and I think that Dr. Thomas can give you updates on that. But our thoughts and prayers are with them, and we are pleased that no one was more seriously injured, and look for them all to recover completely shortly. Let me move out of the way and give you Monica Mall, who's our Director of Public Safety. Monica?
So just give you a brief timeline of events this morning. That we had at 9:52, the officer involved called out that a car had hit about 7 to 8 pedestrians. This happened at 9:52 and called on the radio into the dispatch center. Again, just a few seconds later at 9:52, the officer called out a call that indicated officer in trouble, that there was a man with a knife. At 9:53, that same officer called out that there were shots fired and that he had 1 person down. And that is when the officer engaged the suspect. And so the suspect drove his vehicle into a group of pedestrians. There were some injuries that resulted from that. The suspect then got out of the vehicle with a knife and began cutting individuals in the area. And the officer engaged the suspect and fired shots and used deadly force to stop the threat. The threat to safety was ended at that time. Several other law enforcement agencies responded in addition to OSU PD and began to surround the area. We also followed up on other possibilities and other leads that were going on. The Lane Avenue parking garage, there was rumor that there might have been another potential threat there. That was thoroughly searched, and that turned out not to be true. Would like to share with you today the officer's name, who we all owe a debt of gratitude to. He did a fabulous job today. He is a 28-year-old officer named Alan Harujko. He has been with OSU PD since January of 2015, so not quite 2 years. And the suspect's name, we can confirm that the suspect was an OSU student named Abdul Razak Ali Artan. We do not have any information at the moment on motive. The investigation is ongoing in that regard. You have some information or updates about the patients?
I also want to say, there's several people who are joining me on stage. I'm not going to mention everyone, but I want to say that support we've received from the city, and the city is represented here by Mayor Andy Ginther, support from the state, and our Governor Kasich is with us, and also our representative from Congress, Joyce Beatty, is here this afternoon. So just I wanted to mention those people, and then have maybe Andy come and give us an update on the status of our patients.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Thomas. I'm Chief Medical Officer here at the OSU Wexner Medical Center. A brief update on the individuals involved in this situation that were both brought here, as well as to 2 other hospitals in the city. We've had 6 total individuals that have either been brought here by EMS or have come in on their own. Earlier today, that number was 5. Since our press conference earlier today, we've had 1 additional victim who was hit by the car, who came in with some musculoskeletal injuries and is currently being assessed downstairs. Beyond that, there were 2 stab victims, 2 other victims of having been hit by the car, and then 1 other victim with some lacerations that we're working on. There are 2 patients that were taken to Riverside Methodist Hospital just north of campus. Both of those individuals were struck by the car. One has an orthopedic injury, and the other actually has a minor neurologic injury with a skull fracture, is being observed but is awake and talking and appears to be stable from what I'm told by my colleagues there. There are 2 individuals that were taken to Grant that I mentioned earlier today with lacerations, and then 1 additional patient that has shown up at Grant Hospital who was a victim of being hit by the car, who had an orthopedic injury and has since been discharged from their emergency department. And with that, I'll turn things back over to the
Yeah, I
President.
think maybe Chief Stone has some more specific information about the incident. Chief Stone?
Thanks, President Drake. We have a very elaborate camera system on the campus, and we went back and checked the video, and we were able to pick up the vehicle, suspect vehicle, entering campus on Kenny Road and Woody Hayes Drive. And we were able to backtrack and follow that vehicle all the way to the crime scene. So we actually have the vehicle on Woodruff, and we also have the vehicle on 19th before the incident occurred. So I just want to thank all of our officers for the fine job that they do, also our communications people, and by tracking this vehicle down, we could tell that the suspect was in the car by himself. And also I appreciate the response by the city, the county, the state, and our federal partners who are assisting us in this ongoing investigation. Thank you.
I think that's the information. If there is a question or 2.
Are you convinced right now that he was acting alone and not in concert with anyone else anywhere?
Well, I'll let the law enforcement answer that. But
This is an ongoing investigation. I can tell you today that we can prove to you that the suspect was by himself in the vehicle and committed this act by himself today. It's an ongoing investigation to determine motive and if anybody else was involved in this act.
Could you spell the officer's name as well as
yeah, those are
the assailant?
Deceased suspect's name, first name is spelled A as in Adam, B as in boy, D as in dog, U as in Union, L as in Lincoln. Abdul Razak, that's R as in Robert, A as in Adam, Z as in zebra, A as in Adam, K. Ali is the next name, A as in Adam, L as in Lincoln, I as in Ida, and then the final name is Artan, A as in Adam, R as in Robert, T as in Tom, A as in Adam, N as in Nora. Abdul Razak Ali Artan.
What have you learned about him so far?
We can tell you the suspect is an OSU student.
Is there any indication that he has been involved in anything terrorist related prior to this?
Ongoing investigation.